Hi everyone, I'm Nanette Beeler and I'm here to show you how I was able to create the utensils from Designs by Juju, the Thanksgiving utensils. As you can see here, I am using Patch and Applique Maker from ETS, Embroidery Tool Shed. I did buy that one. And I am right now clicking wherever I see that there is a placement line. I'm just moving right over to where it says applique, and what that's doing is it's turning those lines into an applique. So that's what's going on right now. So now you hold down the control key and you select everything that says applique. You just created that, and once you select all of the pieces that are going to get cut, then you go to the menu bar on Embroidery Tool Shed, and you click on Cut, and that creates what you see here, which is the individual pieces that need to be cut. So you open up Canvas Workspace and you just drag them in there one at a time, which is what you're doing now. You can see I'm doing that. You can see that these are the wings, and because I'm going to do them 4 times, I click copy. But I think first I move them, and then you copy and paste, and so now you have the pieces on Canvas Workspace, and I did a few of these here. I had already done them before, but I did them again, and so that you could see what I did. Notice that I'm moving them around because I'm thinking about where I'm going to have the fabric, and you will not be able to fit all of the pieces. So what I do is I fit as many as I can. I copy the ones that I didn't fit, like I put them on the Canvas Workspace. I copy them or I cut them, and then I open a new Canvas Workspace and I click paste, and that's how I get all of them in there. I hope that made sense. It probably didn't, but that's the best I can do right now. And that is the turkey. And I did use, by the way, I did use the placement line when I was creating the appliques. Not the tack down. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go File, Export to, I think it is, and then I send it to the machine. But the machine wasn't on, but I did do that. All right, so I used Heat and Bond Light on all the pieces, and then I placed the Heat and Bond side down. And I know that there are a lot of people that do things differently. I have used all the techniques that I learned through Becky Thompson of Power Tools with Thread in combination with Ashley. Hold on. So Ashley Jones and Becky Thompson and a lot of YouTubers have taught me different pieces of this. Now notice that I have it now in the scan and cut, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be scanning the fabric, because then I can place the objects in the correct fabric. So now this is just an example because I didn't record this part that I did yesterday when I was actually doing it. I did record some of the things. And then once you scan it, you can see where the fabric is. So then you can put the objects where they go. And this took me a little while because for some reason, well, I'm new at it first of all, and you can select more than one object at the same time, and I couldn't quite get how to do that, but I did figure it out eventually. See, now I did all of them. I don't know why. It took me a few tries, but thank you for your patience. I don't know how to edit. I'm still trying to figure it out, guys. I really, this is the way I operate. Now here I'm starting to figure it out. Yay, I figured it out. So it all goes there. Anyway, so you do that with all of the pieces, and then you're going to go ahead and cut. Now, obviously this is not right, but I just gave you an example of how to move the little objects around, and then you go to cut and you cut them. So this part I recorded yesterday when I was in the process of actually doing it. Yes, I quilt in my jammies, so that's that. And you use your little tool to peel off, and it really doesn't give you any problem at all. Again, this is something that Becky Thompson taught me to do. I haven't had any residue. I guess my mat is the correct level of stickiness, because sometimes, people, you know how it is, people use different mats and different strategies, but this seems to have worked for me pretty well. All of them stuck just enough to cut the fabric and the Heat and Bond Light, while at the same time none of the Heat and Bond Light peeled off on the mat. So that's what I did. What I did is I used paper plates to separate each part so that when it came time to doing the actual putting of these little tiny pieces, I wouldn't be fumbling around too much. So right here, you're going to see me clean the mat. And what I do is I use paper towel, and I use Totally Awesome because Courtney Dowdat of all brands taught me how to do that. And that way, you know, if there's little bits of fabric, you can remove them, and then you can be ready to go because it's very easy to use, it works. I don't know, I just do that. I know that you can use a baby wipe or whatever, but that's what I do. What I did now is I sent the design via Wi-Fi to my sewing machine, and I'm going to take you to the sewing machine. Once there, in order for me to create duplicates, I simply went to the design, I copied it 6 times, and then I went to color sort, and it sorted everything automatically. You probably won't be able to do this if you don't have this machine, but I'm sure there's some way that you can do it with your machine. Sorry about the mess. This is going to go really fast. I cut off the clip too early, but anyway, so it's there. I press OK. And then I press copy, and I copy 4 times, and then I did color sort, and that's all I did. Thank you! Okay, so right here I'm showing you how I'm taking the little pieces. You can see that I am and pressing these. Remember that they have heat and bond light, and I'm just pressing them on the fabric, and you can hardly see it, but that's what I'm doing there. I tried to use the tip of the iron on the outside to kind of secure it a little bit before pressing down on it completely. So here I used the placement and I skipped the tack down. In this section, you can just see how it's going to go from one turkey to another, and it's because it's been color sorted. So that's what you're looking at right now. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that I was able to answer some of your questions and that you'll feel inspired to work with your scan and cut and to do multiples, because that is a superpower. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.